Hello, welcome to the manual on how to use heart for doctors. Um, User reported gaps that we have found during our immersion or interviews with the Pavilion 3 or the acute female ward. First reported gaps is missed schedule. So the healthcare workers are usually missing schedules of routine checkups, assessments, or injections of service users. 2. Time spent with documentation, filling out forms. Um, the healthcare workers or the service providers are thinks that with the implementation of heart it will be easier and faster for them to document and fill out forms in their work. Third, misplaced and missing folders. The implementation of heart will solve the problem or the issues of losing pages or missing folders whenever charts are transferred from doctor to nurse and nurse to doctor. Now, number 4, challenge and identification of patients. With the implementation of the of heart, there will be pictures of patients in the system that will be easily recognizable compared to pictures in the charts where it is grayed out or discolored because of wear and tear or because of because of time. Lastly is updating pavilion census because they do it manually. With the implementation part, this census would be generated automatically instead of manually, which then will reduce their workload of changing the census regularly, so they would have time to do other work, other activities. Next is the heart. Heart is a CPOE or a computerized physician order entry. A CPOE is a process of entering and sending treatment instructions via computer application rather than paper fax or telephone, which means that orders are given and carried out via computer rather than paper. CPOE improves legibility, reduces likelihood of missing data, and reduces variability among providers, variability of data. So heart is a type of CPOE. Benefits of heart. Benefits number 1, ensures legible orders. This means that orders will be uniform in legibility. It would have the same font size, font style for everyone. They'll be easily readable. Service providers would no longer need to ask other service providers of their writing or of their content that they have written on the chart. Number 2, standards of care or uniformity. So there will be uniform information, uniform data. There wouldn't be much confusion on the description of orders. Everybody will be using the same words, will be using the same vocabulary for the orders. All orders, no matter which user it may be, will more or less be the same. So yeah. Share records across healthcare team. Number 3. Doctors and nurses can access the record of the patient simultaneously. They would no longer need to transfer chart from one place to another. That is number 3. Number 4, collaborate tasks and management. Again, they can carry out and give out orders simultaneously, meaning a doctor could give out his 5th order while the nurse is already carrying out the first one, meaning there will be increased efficiency in carrying out and giving out orders. Lastly, accountability and transparency. There information on the patients and the actions done will be visible to everyone that has access to HEART. So there is transparency. There will be timestamps indicated as well. There would also be names. So all actions shall be recorded and will be assigned to a person. So every action will have your name attached to it. Therefore, there is accountability for each and every action that is done in creating these orders in HEART. So next is our vision. In 2027, the National Center for Mental Health will have a fully integrated digital health information system for recording, retrieval, reporting, and analyzing mental health data. So by 2027, the entire hospital will be digitalized, removing all forms of pen and paper charts. Next, our digitalization roadmap. Currently, we are at our stage 3. We have finished 4 projects in the last 2 years. Our HOPE, or our OPD EMR, our HERE, or our triage EMR, our HELP, our EMR for the emergency room, and then the most recent one, HEART, which is the CPOE for Pavilion 3, and soon to be CPOE for inpatient departments in the whole hospital. Currently, HEART is only implemented in the Pavilion 3, the acute female ward, but in the future we would be implementing HEART in all inpatient departments. So there would be uniformity in all hospitals, so in all departments. Next, I shall now be discussing the step-by-step guide on how to use the EMR for doctors. Number 1, logging in. First, find the Google Chrome icon or any browser and double click on the icon. You could use Microsoft Edge or Mozilla Firefox for the usage of the HEART. Number 2, click the address bar or the URL link bar on the top of the browser and type heart.ncmh.local/login, then press enter. Next, type in your username and password, and then choose from the drop down list the appropriate pavilion that is assigned to you. But right now, since Pavilion 3 is the only department that has heart, so yeah. Then click login. Next, you will see this dashboard after you log in, so you would know if you are doing the right actions. You would see this dashboard. General functions, so these are the functions that you would need to remember as you access the heart or the EMR. First function that you would need to remember is the required field. If the label or the field has the red asterisk, it is a required field. Required field means you cannot submit all your entries, all your data, without filling out the required fields. You cannot save, you cannot submit if these fields are not filled out. Number 2 is your checkboxes. So if you see a checkbox with unknown on it, it means it is a unknown checkbox that will disable the field and will let you continue or save the field without the need of putting information in it. For this example, city is a required field, but because we clicked unknown city, we have overridden the required field of city. Therefore, we didn't need to put information in the city in order to save or submit the field or the entries. Next is text boxes. So empty white boxes are text boxes where you can free text type any information. You can type letters, numbers, symbols, as much as you want, but only up to a certain amount of characters. On every text box, there is always a character limit, so please have it in mind that whenever you use a text box, use as concise as a concise paragraph or sentences as much as kindly use concise wording in your free text boxes. Next is calendar logos. If you see a calendar logo, kindly click on it, and then after that you would calendar window will appear that would let you select a date and time for the selected field. So if the field requires you a date, just select calendar logo and choose the appropriate date for your order or for your entry. Next is drop down list. Drop down lists are lists that are selections that will appear once you click the drop down arrow. So drop down arrows are indicated by this black triangle pointed by this arrow, red arrow, and the red square. If you click this arrow, a list of selections will be shown to you, and then you just need to choose one from the choices given to you. Okay. Next is show list, and this show list button. In here, you would be able to if you click this button, you would be able to see the consultants that has read or seen your entry. This could be compared to your social media apps like Messenger or Instagram DMs, where you would be able to see which consultant or which person has seen your messages in social media, or in this case, your orders. So just click the button that is indicated by the red box, the small red box. If you click that, you would see the list of consultants that has seen your orders. Next is filters. Filters are only seen in the patient list. So filters are used to search for your patients, to easily search or organize your patient list, since there is usually around 200 to 300 patients in right now in Pavilion 3, an average of 200 to 300. You would definitely need filters to organize the patient that you want to see, the patient that you want to access their charts. So you could access these filters in order to ease your searching. We have multiple types of filters, such as filters per ward, either ward 1 or 2, or you could filter the charts per room, or you could filter the charts based on their status, whether it is a new patient, a patient with due today, a patient with stat, and etc. Doctor's orders. So first function that you would need to know is how to make doctor's orders. So first, go to the patient list and search for your patient's name. Step 2. That is step 2. Next, step 3, click actions button, and then click your orders button, the orders option. After that, you will be seeing this page, so that you would know that you have done the correct steps. You will be seeing this page. Next, special instructions. This is one of the 5 orders that you would see under orders. One of them is special instruction. In here, you would need to encode the following details: special instruction, free text, due date, type of order, routine or stat, and then click add, and then confirm. In here, due date is not a required field. Therefore, if you do not need to put anything on due date, you do not need to indicate any due date. It is not a required field. Next is with the created order, you have the function to update or delete orders. If you have wrongly encoded these orders, you can either update them or delete them if they're completely wrong. Okay. Next is general order. Under general order, you would only encode the following details: free general order, free text, due date, which is not required, type of order, routine or stat order, and then click add and then confirm. So general order also has update and delete buttons. Next, date of reassessment. Date of reassessment means that you can schedule the next date of reassessment of the patient. Just click the calendar logo and select the appropriate date of reassessment. And then click update. Just a reminder for everyone, or a tip: if you schedule a date of reassessment and that date does come, you will be able to search under the patient list the patients for reassessment. You can filter them, so it will be useful for you if to input the date of reassessment, so that next time that the reassessment date comes, you would be able to easily find the patients that are for reassessment. You can do this by searching under the search bar in the patient list the word reassessment. If you search the word reassessment, the patients that are for reassessment will be filtered for you. Next, medication. Click the medication tab beside the general order tab at the white toolbar at the top, and then encode the following details: medication and dosage. It's just a search list or a drop down search bar, or through the medication and dosage free text. You can either use the drop down list or the free text, but you can't use both, of course. Next, indicate the quantity, which is the number of the medications the patient should take. Frequency is the time, meaning whether it is daily or twice a day, 3 times a day, monthly, weekly. So these are the frequency. And then duration means the number of days, whether it is 30 days, or you could also indicate the range, meaning you could indicate January 1 to January 31 if you click the range button. If you click the number button, you would only need to type the number of days, like let's say 30 days. If you click now, it will only quantify as one med, so it would yeah. Next is dose count. In dose count, it is automatically computed for you, so you wouldn't need to write that down or encode that one. Target due of first dose. This is the date and time of when the patient should take or should drink their first dose. You would need to indicate the date and the time. This means that if you made an order, a medication order, let's say in this example at 1:46 p.m., but you intend to give the first dose at let's say 4 p.m., please encode target due of first dose should be January 2, 2024 at 4 p.m. instead of 1:46, because automatically the target due of first dose would be 1:46 instead of 4. So please indicate the time and the date whenever you fill this field of information. All right. Next is preparation. Preparation usually contains tablet or capsule, vial, ampule. So these are your preparations. Route will be oral, intravenous, nasal, and other medication routes. Remarks is a required field, meaning you would need to encode information on the remarks, or else your medication would not submit. So what do you usually put on the remarks? You usually put instructions such as before meals, after meals, or let's say maybe some special instructions on the medication. You could indicate them on the remarks. But if in case that you do not have any special instructions, then you could just type a dot or a dash to override the required function. Next, type of order, routine or stat, and then click add. to verify and then click confirm to save. Next, medication is the only field or the only action that doesn't have an update button. So if in any case that you encoded mistake on your medication entry, you would need to delete and then add another medication again, create a new medication. Next is the target date of first dose update button. If you want to access this update button of the target date of first dose, click this arrow at the left side and then click the pen icon button. This function serves to change the time of dosage of each of doses. So if in any case you would need to change the time of a dose earlier or later in the day, you could change the time through this pen icon. For example, if you have a medication that is daily at, let's say, 5 p.m. in this example, and you want to give the second dose at, let's say, an earlier date, just click the pen icon and then choose 3 p.m. instead of 5 p.m. so that the nurses would know that the second dose would need to be an earlier dose compared to the regular time of dosage. Next, diagnostics. Diagnostics, just click the diagnostic tab beside the medication tab. And then encode the following details: procedure, due date, remarks, type of order, and then click add and then confirm. So in here, due date compared to the others, due date here is a required field. So please indicate the date and time on which the nurses should carry out the order. That is the purpose of the due date. The date and time the nurse should carry out the order. Okay, next. Referral. Diagnostic also again has update and delete buttons. The only function or the only field that doesn't have an update button is your medication button or medication field. Next is referral orders. Referral orders, just click the tab at the right side of the diagnostic tab. Click department and choose your department. Either choose your referral department for referral, and then type your reason for referral, and then type your due date. Click your type of order, click add, and then confirm. The referral tab also has an action button that has an update and delete. Under the referral orders, the due date here is also a required field. Next, mark as done. This action will only appear on your referral tab if the patient you're accessing is a referral patient. For example, if a patient is being referred to you after you have completed your assessment of the patient, you would need to go to the referral tab and then click actions on the order of referral and then click mark as done. This would notify the referring doctor that the assessment is done. Again, the mark as done is a function that can only appear to referral doctors, so that they can notify the referring doctors that the referral is done. Next, diet. If you want to go to the diet tab from the patient list, just search for your patient, actions, and then diet button. Click the diet button. If you want to access the diet tab from the chart, patient chart, just click the diet tab from the blue toolbar. Next, once you access the diet tab, click the drop down arrow and then select the appropriate diet for your patient. If you do not if the choices doesn't if your diet is not appearing at the choice selections given here, you could click others, and then you could free text write the diet under others. So if the diet is not in the selections given right here, then just click the others and then type the appropriate diet, free text type the appropriate diet for your patient. Next, click add to save the entry. Next, so the diet tab also has update and delete buttons. Next, diagnosis. If you want to search for the diagnosis tab from the patient list, go to the search bar, click actions, and then click diagnosis. If you want to access diagnosis from the patient chart, click the diagnosis tab from the blue toolbar. After you access the diagnosis tab, encode the following details. Diagnosis to consider is primary. Primary means if this diagnosis is primary, yes. Is it primary? No. That is how it works. If this is a question of whether or not your encoded diagnosis is a primary diagnosis. Next, notes. In here, there's also a modifier. As you can see in the example provided here, there is a admitting modifier. So your modifier will indicate the type of diagnosis it is, whether it is a working diagnosis, an admitting diagnosis, a final diagnosis, an interim diagnosis. So these are the modifiers. After you fill in the modifier, the notes is not a required field. Click add, confirm, and then diagnosis again has update and delete buttons. Next, disposition. So if you want to access the disposition tab, click search, actions, and then disposition. If you want to access the disposition tab from the patient chart, just click the disposition tab from the blue toolbar. Next, encode the following details. So you type remarks or details, disposition remarks or disposition details. It is not a required field, so you do not need to encode any remarks if you do not need to. And then select appropriate disposition for your patients. So it's either direct discharge, home conduction, trans out, absconded, or expired. And then click Mark Patient Disposition to verify the disposition. And then click Confirm. Click Confirm to save and submit your disposition. The revert function. The disposition has a revert function. If the patient discharged or trans out returns to your pavilion within 24 hours, you could revert the disposition instead of readmitting the patient to heart. This means that you would not need to go through the steps of readmitting. Instead, you would just need to revert the disposition, and the patient would be back to its previous the chart would be to its previous form. That is because after 24 hours, if the disposition has not been reverted, the patient or the chart will be removed from the system, indicating that the patient has already left the department. So past 24 hours, if the patient returns past 24 hours, you would need to readmit or register again the patient in heart. Next, printing of orders. If you want to print orders from the patient list, search for the patient's name, actions, and documents. And then if you want to access the documents or the printing from the patient chart, just click the Documents tab from the blue toolbar. Next, scroll down and then click the calendar logo. Select the appropriate date range for the order printout. This means that you should select you can only select multiple days of multiple dates of orders. So for this example, let's say I want the orders from the entire month of October. What do? I select the month, which is October 2023. I click the first day of the month, which is October 1, and the last day, which is October 31, and then I click Select. Once I click Select, the dates will be saved. The dates will be saved, and then they will be ready for printing. So if after you saved the dates, click Export. Once you have exported the file will be downloaded to your computer, or the file will be downloaded on your computer, and you can access the file through your downloads folder in your computer or in your downloads history on your browser toolbar, represented by the ellipsis symbol. So you can access the downloaded file again in your downloads folder or your browser or your downloads history on your browser. Next is the other functions, census. So like I have said previously, EMR has a automated census function, which will reduce the time for the nurses to count and do the census every day. So in order to access that, click Census on the navigation toolbar on the left side of the page. Click Pavilion. Click the pavilion of your choice. Click Generate Data, and then the census will appear on your screen. After that, if you want to, you could export or download the census to your computer and then print it if you want. Next is manage tags. If you want to add tags to your or assign tags to your patient, you need first to add a tag. So how do you add a tag? Click the Manage Tags tab from the left side, from the black navigation bar on the left side of your page. Click Add Tag and then fill out the necessary details. For this example, if you want to make a tag, a pregnant tag, if you want to assign a pregnant tag to your patient's chart, so you fill in the name, which is pregnant, color, choose any color that you want, status, put it on active, text color, black or white, and then click Add Tag. So here, this is what it would look like if you added tags if you assign tags to your patient. So if you're, let's say for this example, patient Baymax is pregnant, and you want to notify other users that this patient or patient Baymax is pregnant, then it will display on the patient list indicated at the left side, or it will also appear on the patient's banner indicated at the right. So the purpose of the tags is to label the patient so that the other users will immediately be notified of this certain tag, of this certain label. Next is, so tags have update and delete buttons as well. Now, if you want to assign a tag to the patient, you can click Actions, Tags, and then a drop down list will appear, and then select the tags that you want to assign to the patient. For this example, in case that you want to tag hoarding precaution or assault precaution, or for discharge planning to your patient, you can just click Actions, Tags, and then select your tag from the choices given below. So yeah, so Actions, Tags, and then a window will appear, and then choose the appropriate tag for your patient. Next, registering or creating an account. So if you want to make an official account for the heart, you would just need to again type the URL link in the address bar, which is heart.ncmh.local/login. Again, the link is heart.ncmh.local/login. After you access the link, click the register button on the left side of the login button. After you click register, fill out the following details: your name, your username, your profession, which is doctor, license number, and then your pavilion, which is whichever pavilion you are on duty right now. Pavilion, so let's say you are a referral doctor, then I would put pavilion 7. Or you are I am doctor, then I would put pavilion 7. Password, and then confirm password, and then register. Once you have registered, the rest of the process will be up to us, meaning we would need to still accept your registration request. Once we have accepted your registration request, you would be able to log in. Now, how would you know if your registration has been accepted? If you are able to log in with your username and password, then you are registered. if you were not able to log in, therefore it is not registered yet. Yeah, so that is how you create an account for Heart. Lastly, if you want to contact us or raise some concerns, just scan the QR code to our Viber channel. In this Viber channel, this is not only a Viber channel for our Heart users, but this is also a Viber channel for all our EMR users. So this is a channel for our Hope users, our Help users, our Hear users, and our Heart users. So if you want to raise concerns or questions, feel free to comment. Feel free first to join the channel and then comment anything. Next is thank you for listening to watching our video. If you have any concerns or questions and you don't want to reach via Viber, you can also reach via email at ncmhmhis2022@gmail.com. So you can email us instead through this email. Thank you for everything. And yeah, also I hope that you would appreciate, or rather find the benefits, experience the benefits of using Heart. I hope that it will be useful to all of you, and that is it. Lastly, I just want to say that if you don't want to reach us through Viber or through email, we also have our number, which is local 1813 or 428. Again, if you want to reach us through phone, contact local 1813 or 428. Thank you again, and see you in the next video.